And we are live. Hello, everyone. Hope all of you can hear me clearly. As you can see, new setting. I've been redesigning a little bit of a man cave here, streaming room. Uh, to better serve all of you guys. So I'm going to say welcome to the 8th episode of Blockchain Talks. This time without special guests. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the current state of the market, seeing what the movements are, what's happening in the crypto markets. I've chosen a few articles to highlight, that despite there isn't much FUD, or noise or buzz going around on crypto Twitter or in general the crypto sphere, things are moving behind the screens, which implies, I guess a certain coil is being loaded up before a big head up. Anyway, I'm going to start showing my screen here. Let us start. So I'm on CoinGecko. Yeah, okay, it's still in Dutch. One moment, I'm going to put it into English for all you guys. There we are. So market currently turning red, though I see a little bit of an uptick here. Well, it isn't much. Yeah, market's bleeding a little bit. Let's get into it, see what the hell is happening here. So I'm on CoinGecko. I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin. It seems CoinGecko did a little update here. Okay, cool. I have to take that into account for tomorrow's episode of Crypto Bull. Now let's see the movements in the past 24 hours. Look to be bearish, but is now toying a little bit at around the 32,250 USD dollar range. I can see there's a lot of volume here being moved. So there's a battle going on of people selling and people buying up the dips. And you can especially see here, we'll zoom out later on, that resistance here is now situated at 33K. This is an uptick when considering the last couple of weeks where, the support was lower, I dare say. So I'm going to start zooming out. So 7 days. It seems to me on a weekly basis, there's finally some volatility back. So it isn't going sideways in a boring market, but it is still trading within range. In the past episodes, so those of 3 weeks ago, I said, yeah, the market is still going sideways, still holding on to that, though I must say that the range has been narrowed down. At this point, I dare say it's no longer the range 30K to 40K, but it seems to me, and I'm going to zoom out for that to give you guys a more clear view, and we're toying a little bit here at between the 33K level and 35K level, so that's going sideways in that range. So it has been narrowed down of being volatile with a difference of about 2,000 euros. And I believe even if I zoom out to monthly basis, yeah, it still holds up here. So that's somewhere here. Since early June, we're now July. We're still trading inside that range here. The exception of a very severe dip here, which went to 30K. And once again here, I must say I bought here during the dip. I saw opportunity. If you guys see something happening like this once again, so suddenly very increased volatility, it's pushing downward, it implies a crash is coming as the most opportune moment to buy in Bitcoin or buy in any other altcoin. The reason Bitcoin still has the majority domination of the market. So this means, other altcoins will be following. Going to zoom out 90-day range. As you can see, we are going sideways for quite some time here. Still going sideways within the range 40K to 30K. But as you can see, the volatility in the last couple of months, it has been slowing down really. It's no longer a range between 40K and 30K and 40K, my apologies, but it has been slowing down more towards 35 and 33. You might say here, since we zoomed down a little bit, that the average trend line is being bearish. But I dare say, regarding time scale and naturally taking into account, I'm going to zoom out, was half a year. All-time high was here somewhere, and we're now here, consolidation zone. So to me, the bull run is over. It has been for quite some time. In my previous episodes, I actually raised the doubt, actually raised that point. Didn't dare to confirm it yet, but considering the time scale which has passed by, I dare say, well, it's over. We are now in consolidation period. Now, the people who are now still crying about, well, it's going to hit 100K still at the end of this year. Well, I do not want to give false hope. Everything's possible. I was wrong at the beginning of this year when I, for the very first time, heard people say, yeah, it's going to break the 50K. Didn't want to believe it, but it did. Anyway, what I want to say is 100K is still a possibility, although I'm not convinced it will occur, well, in the forthcoming months or even this year. I hope I'm wrong on that part, but from what I can tell, it's over, and we're actually, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. This is one of 2017. Well, we are more or less in this kind of stage. It's consolidation and there's no more volatility. And if new highs are being maintained, it's not going to be as spectacular as this one. Some might say, from the leg up we saw here, there's a little bump here. That's the one we saw, and then bam, it went up. Nah, not a case. So you might also say, well, a little bit of a dip here. Now, from what I can tell for the forthcoming months, I'm going to zoom back out, zoom back in. We're going to be in trading range 35 up until 32. 32 and 35K range. For the time being, another leg up, perhaps future-wise, not entirely sure. Anyway, the market is quite boring. That is something what most people would say. However, from what I noticed in the articles passing by, well, things are moving. I dare say a certain coil is being wound up. A coil which might spring the value of Bitcoin upwards, of the entire crypto market upwards. For that, I'm going to just scroll down a few articles here. So this Cointelegraph. What makes me think the coil is being, wound up? Well, for instance, just reading the titles. This title here, traders are withdrawing 2000 BTC from centralized exchanges daily. There is movement on the blockchain and out of centralized exchanges. You see some competition between, institutional investors, between a central exchange and Binance. Is Binance a central exchange? I dare say partly yes and partly no. It's a bit of a hybrid system. I'm not going to say all too much about it. It has gotten its, credits, but it isn't 100% one or 100% the other. So they do price analysis here, more on that later. Got it opened up. Trinitarian Polygon, so there's some cross-chain interaction. And this is also an article I'm going to discuss and read out about here, because actually this one's more important than you might think for the entirety of the crypto market. So what's more, you see here, Australian government awards $40 million in grants to 2 blockchain startups. Might be something interesting, but do know this implies there's adoption occurring. Go to enterprise blockchain, so that too is a sign of continued adoption. Long crypto crackdown targeting USD access points has begun, so regulations and bans, they're starting to crack down on cryptocurrency. So in a sense, certain countries and nations are trying to follow suit with China. However, how successful they might be, we do not know, but it will give in the long term an influence on crypto markets. That's actually some negative news here, but, well, negative news short term, by reason that many beginning investors will think, oh no, I've got to get rid of my coins, price is going to crash as a result. Generally, that's the first sign. In the second, more long-term run, you might actually see value increasing, by reason it becomes a rarity, something which is extremely valuable but hard to come by, which pushes up its price. So Nifty News, some extended CTA, nothing much to say about that one. Either that one that we've seen, that also. Institutions cautious crypto products post weakest volume since October. That actually is being presented as an FUD, but in reality, to me, it gives sign, well, we are in a phase that the bull run is over. So no big volumes are being traded, not all too much hype, and it's actually a return to pre-halving conditions. Why do I say pre-halving conditions? Well, with the Bitcoin halving last year, there was a lot of hype being created. There was naturally the case with Donald Trump and the presidential elections. There was a tremendous amount of uncertainty by investors actually jumped onto cryptocurrency. Naturally, not to forget the Chinese flu, which went around and put the world in a global pandemic. So there was a lot of, well, uncertainty, which has driven the current market of cryptocurrency upwards towards increased adoption. So, well, this may be presented as FUD, so fear, uncertainty, doubt. In reality, it's a sign we're going back to, well, pre-halving situations here. So I wanted to say. Why 1 billion liquidations are less frequent, so that's also a little bit something presented as FUD. This one is quite important. Price falls under 33K. We're a bit early, as you can see here. We're back above it. Even slightly in the middle, I'm going to refresh it just to make sure. I'm still streaming here, right? Yeah, okay. Sorry. So we're back above here, so the article was posted somewhere early in the morning. Nothing to be shabby about. So consider it as FUD. And some other articles. Generally, I'm not going to get all too deep into these. However, what I must say is try to place them correctly. Some articles, as you might have seen towards my reaction here, like, what was it? Like this one, even this one, or even this one, are presented as creating FUD, so fear, uncertainty, doubt, up until the moment you actually start reading and actually start thinking what it represents. That if you take a longer look at the time scale of what has occurred in the last couple of months, you see, well, it isn't that special. It's simply overhyped news. Do not forget, even Cointelegraph is still a corporate entity which needs to draw in, well, a certain amount of viewers and readers. So they will be presenting things more, how to say, polished or unpolished, depending on how much traction they want to create. It's something you can do much about it, though I have a certain amount of trust in Cointelegraph by reason, well, their articles are okay. They present information, but they also give me the means to verify it if needed. Now, let's do the price analysis here. It's the article I opened up. 712, drifting low, pulling out almost to critical support level and taking resolve of traders. Okay. You know, for a drop back below the June low, I think there would be a riskiness. The old record high area around 20K. 20K, I dare say, is the bare minimum. That's where the majority of support currently is. But like I said, when considering the price action going on here, we've got some solid support here around 32K, 32,750 area. Even if I zoom out, it's even lower. Yeah, key area around 3K, I dare even say. So you can see there's each time a perfect bounce upwards along that line, so nothing to worry too much about. For the forthcoming week, I'd say heavy support on 33K, so 33,000 USD dollar. Seem to be improving, had taken a big knock due to China's recent crackdown on miners, that's correct. Bitcoin has seen a decrease in value, mainly due to the China crackdown. The hash rate fell down tremendously, and people say, yeah, that's a sign that more than 17% of all mining occurred in China. I want to debunk that myth once again. Yes, the hash rate has fallen tremendously, even more than 50%, which should give rise to some panic, but in reality, it's not only mining operations which take part in China. There's also the biggest mining pools are situated in China, and a lot of miners are now needing to rewire towards another mining pool. So not the one situated in China, but elsewhere. So yeah, there's a transition going on. And people saying, yeah, but China still has 70%. That's no longer true. The transition has occurred. Miners are being shipped out. Some miners have become obsolete by reason, yeah, if we need to move it and we have to plug them out, well, they are no longer profitable, so they are ripe for the trash. So hash rate is actually recovering. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here, just to clear things up. Hash rate Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm going to do estimated hash rate once clear. So as you can see, we had a low here the very beginning of July at towards the 84 million terahashes. Now, to put this in perspective, we came from almost, is it 180? So tremendous lot has fallen. However, as you can see, there's a recovery, and for that I need to zoom out on a yearly basis. So yeah, this is when transition occurred, but as you can see, we're back in an uptick. So slowly but certainly are all miners being started up once again. Mining pools are slowly getting back online, with the geographical center being elsewhere. So expect this to grow, and perhaps by the end of the year, we're probably consolidating once again here at 160 million terahashes a second, unless something else happens and that growth might be more intense. But as you can see, we're still doing fine. We are at levels from before August 2019, and the network was still performing well, if everyone remembers correctly. So even this deep dive didn't really harm the network in itself. So all panickers, this is consolidation, this is good news. Let's continue here. Shows the self-reward needs of assistance from any external agency. All Bitcoin maximalists and people who know about blockchain already expected this, so no reason for fear. Moving average, this negative sign shows that bears are aggressively defending this resistance, has turned down from 20-day EMA. Bears will not try to pull the price down to 31K. What this is telling me, people will say, oh yeah, for trading it isn't all that good. In reality, to me, it's a sign big time accumulation is going on. People are trying to massively sell off Bitcoin in hopes to buy it in cheaper and make a gain by having it rise around. So that's Ethereum. With Ethereum, major updates are also coming. I heard the news, unless, in case people missed it, the Ethereum EIP 1559 update is postponed until the 4th of August. Wouldn't be surprised if it will take much longer. However, what I dare say is, what can I say? As you can see on screen, in the runner-up towards EIP 1559, it was going slowly back up, but as soon as the news broke, it stabilized and is going back down here. So could have expected that. BNB going sideways, so following the market trends. Same for Cardano. Dogecoin is going down, so even Elon Musk's latest hyping attempts did not help to push the price back upwards, so it's slowly returning towards more favorable levels. XRP following market trend, stabilizing even, so there's no clear sign it's a bear or a bullish market. Polkadot, one of my favorites, also following market sentiment. And that's Uniswap, you can see a general increase. Close this one down. Then, this is also big news. Big BTC unlock, 5 things to watch in Bitcoin this week. So Grayscale is quite an important holder of Bitcoin. Well, as soon as its BTC is being unlocked, this will influence the market. So as you can see, crucial support is back, but bills have not yet got a breakthrough. Could that soon change? So on trading code that had been involved back to a certain blah 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 blah. Hit classic resistance through. It doesn't really talk about here all the right things. So yeah, returning and during a brief bearish period episode last week. We must sustain the back. So yeah, that's the difficulty chart. So it's back up, as I said. Now this one is quite important. Grayscale unlocks 40,000 BTC. As CoinTelegraph is due to release in excess of 40,000 BTC in the upcoming week. These have been subject to a 6-month lockup period. Some are concerned that selling pressure will increase, only then to become practically zero after unlocking are over, while others argue that spot markets will be broadly unaffected. It's of particular interest, so next week, with that day's unlocking worth just over 60,000 BTC. Now, why is this news quite important? Well, the price or the value of Bitcoin is mainly being pushed by supply and demand. If the demand is higher than the supply, value increases. Standard economics. If the supply is bigger than the demand, well, value decreases. Now, the fact that there is going to be an unlock of a tremendous amount of Bitcoin, 40,000 in total, with the biggest part being launched on July 18th, well, we might expect a dip in the near future. I say expect because, well, it might be the case the market will remain unaffected. However, considering the value of Bitcoin and its current trend, and it's probably the reason why things are going sideways, is that people are awaiting for this unlock and see what the market sentiment will be. For myself, I'm going to keep a close eye on the market. I'm hoping and I think we will encounter a little dip and that we might be going below the 33,000 USD value level, which means it's very opportune to start buying. This is a trading tip I'm giving. So keep a close eye on the market up until July 18th. As soon as you see a sign like, where was it? 7 days? No, it's longer. Yeah. Like you saw here, just take the CoinGecko chart, zoom in. If something occurring like this implies a major bearish movement is going to occur. So major downside towards support level. Support level, I'm going to say maintain 30K before bouncing back up and stabilizing once again. So the market might become more erratic starting from, well, July 18th. So keep a very close eye on it. That's a trading tip I want to give. So as you can see, whereas most people say the market is quite calm, things are, well, cascading, things are moving on the backside. This is actually major good news. On zone, take profit, blah, blah. So that's a little bit of basic. This is also quite important, and it actually ties down with the previous article with the Grayscale unlocking of 40,000 Bitcoin. Falls under 33K, but on-chain data hints at BTC accumulation. And I dare say that's also true, which is the reason why we see this sideways movement. I'm going to zoom out to what's 90 days. I'm going to put it, change it a bit can't seem to find. Oh yeah. Hammering. As you can see, okay, this is June, May, mostly red. You might say it's mostly bearish. That's on monthly basis, approximately June, July. So it's slightly bearish, but it isn't convincingly so, except probably here we had the biggest downside. So I'd say accumulation is going on by reason the market is going sideways and reacts very fast towards major sell-offs that it even recovers tremendously. So yeah, actually it isn't all too clear for getting my point across. So as you can see here, major dip, immediately bought back up. So there's support going on. And this actually to me is a sign of accumulation. Something like this, you can even see here towards the 30K. Yeah, that was the big down one on 22nd of June where I bought in additionally. There's accumulation going on. And there's so by reason we've got a few major dips but are immediately bought back up. And this to me is actually a sign some corporate entities, some institutional investors are behind it, awaiting certain movements or awaiting immediate price dips. I wouldn't be surprised they are awaiting until July 18th to have the price crash down tremendously and see once again such a hammer movement like this one on June 22nd. So wouldn't be surprised, so keep your eyes open. And I dare say, do not sell all your coins. They're after it, and they are counting on the majority of beginning investors to sell off their Bitcoin in order to get it in cheap before it, well, explodes once again towards all-time high levels in the near future. Near future, well, okay, give or take it a few months or years, but you catch my drift. Is also, I mentioned during this episode, there's a sign of recovery for the hash rate. This was the major dip, and slowly but surely all miners, which now have been transported towards the US and other nations, are getting back online. And as you can see, we're in a slow recovery. Mining pools will probably also be started up once again, become active again, miners will be redistributed, etc. So I'm fairly confident market, well, the network is recovering, of that I'm certain. Market itself is actually loading up for, well, a big movement. Immediate future, so July 18th with grayscale, perhaps downwards, but afterwards probably back up. To what levels, I do not know. However, what I dare say is, and I'm going to switch back towards traditional view here. What I dare say is keep this level, well, this range we're currently in mind. This is what I call true value of Bitcoin. Anything else is supposed opportunity for either selling or buying. So at this point, also I mentioned this in my Crypto Bull episode, if the market is going sideways and remains stable, that's actually a very opportune moment to buy in. And it becomes even more opportune if you manage to, well, detect movements where it goes down, well, where it's volatile and you've got a low point, just as the one here. That was actually a very good opportunity to buy in. As you can see, we're still within range. So bought in here, and well, you can see I made a profit with my new buy in still. So yeah, my Crypto Bull, I explain, look, you need to see where the average trend line is, what the average real value is over a prolonged period of time. But if you want to maximize your profit, you need to be able to discern the opportunity where it dips below the average value, below the average range here, which I did immediately. And from what I think, something like that will occur once again on July 18th with Grayscale opening up, making available the 40,000 Bitcoin within its holdings. So that's actually very good news. Altcoins fall under pressure. I'm not going to talk too much about altcoins, otherwise I might be gone for the rest of the day here. Anyway, this is also important news for everyone in the Eurozone and where it concerns Binance. This news was brought to my attention, and some people from the crypto belly group I belong to have made mention of it, and I want to make mention of it here right now. So Binance temporarily suspends euro deposits via SEPA, so the single euro payments area. SEPA is actually quite well liked with European citizens by reason it is an almost immediate pay towards exchanges such as Binance. It allows people to trade more quickly. Otherwise, well, the other option takes 1 or 2 days before the account is being credited, and with SEPA it's almost immediately. So there's a little bit of a wrench in trading strategies, so watch out with that one. Naturally, other exchanges will still allow withdrawals with SEPA. However, this is only unique to Binance. You can see in the article here, DOJ were investigating Binance. Since then, it has been on the hill for Binance, especially in recent weeks. So Binance has some legal trouble, I believe, by reason that most nations and countries have seen that what occurs on Binance isn't always all that clear or, clear cut, I dare say. There's a lot of projects being built on it and a lot of, I dare not say fraud, but Binance has its own smart chain and a lot of money is moving over there. And in the last couple of months, I've seen things happen which even to me made me raise my eyebrows and decided intuitively to remove my funds I had over there towards other exchanges and into private wallets. By reason, I think something's going to happen with Binance, especially now that they are under scrutiny of the government. And despite people saying to me, yeah, but it's partially decentralized, they still have a centralized aspect to them, which implies they will comply with local laws. And, well, to put it bluntly, shit might go down. And I'm not all too eager to lose my holdings on that platform by reason other guys and scams, etc. are occurring. So not in the mood, moved it away, and I advise other people to do so too. Move it towards your own private wallet. Keep a close eye on what is occurring on Binance. Things might become dirty, and that might also influence the crypto market a little bit. However, like I said, the next major movement I expect is going to happen will be around July 18th. It has to do with Grayscale and the opening up of, I repeated multiple times already, with the 40,000 Bitcoin that becomes available. So yeah, with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. So thank you guys all for watching. I'm going to wrap up the episode. Hope you guys find it interesting, learn something new. If I have to summarize everything here, I dare say we are in an accumulation period being driven by institutional investors. There is a major movement that is going to occur July 18th thanks to Grayscale. Keep that in mind. Load up your accounts and be sure you are ready to buy the dip and keep a close eye on the markets. Furthermore, news might be calm and everything seems to be boring on the surface, but as mentioned by simply reading the titles, things are moving in the background. A certain coil is being wound up to spring, and we might actually see some, new and fresh volatility on the markets. So keep an eye on that one. This was Dimitri from Gracious Interest. Well, no, that's me also. This Dimitri from Blockchain Talks, this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and up until next time.